Yeah, well, judging by the energy in the group, yeah, obviously disappointed with the results that we've had over the last few weeks, but the energy is certainly up and about and ready to attack this next portion of our season.
There's obviously a few blokes off doing their running. Lockie looked good today. Let's start with Lockie. I think he'll be back for sure against Collingwood.
Yeah, well, he trained really strong today. He was just nipping around then, so that was encouraging. So no doubt he'll have a few more hurdles that he has to overcome, but hopefully he's good to go.
Darcy Gardner's the other one. We're also waiting to see how he looked, but he actually looked like he moved okay. So you think his scans will come back all right?
Well, hopefully they come back all right. As you said, I just spoke to him just then, and he was pretty happy with how it was all moving. He was obviously really disappointed that he had to go off on the weekend, but moving this morning, he said it felt a lot more free than what it did during the game. So that's a great sign. Hopefully the scan comes back all clear and he doesn't miss any footy.
What about Connor McKenna as well? He was out running.
Just go through the list, eh? Goodness me. He obviously had his scan, so I think he probably missed about 3 games by the looks of it. But he was pretty optimistic. It was very similar spot to the last bit. Certainly not as bad. So he was running. I ran next to him for a little bit there, and he's optimistic as well. So hopefully some good news on the way. But see what happens.
He seems to be in good spirits. How do you tackle something like that mentally?
Connor?
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously disappointing. You work extremely hard in the pre-season to play, and then your body lets you down when you're there. So look, he's a pretty cool customer. It certainly won't faze him, and he'll do his rehab well and be back into it before we know it.
Sorry, Fish, I was going to say, I think this is the last one. I saw Charlie hobbling through the airport last week, but today he moved pretty well. So, is there any lingering issues with Charlie? Come on, Zil.
Jeez. No, there isn't. Okay. I think he might have just been putting a little bit on there. He's got a bit of a swagger walk about him, Charlie, as it is, so maybe you just emphasise that a bit more. But he's all good. He's clear.
Your defensive stocks, what does Tom do today if he might play this weekend in the VFL?
Yep.
How good would it be to have him be able to come into the side if he's right to go?
Yeah, well, that's a point there, isn't it? If he's right to go, he's obviously a class player. He's played a number of years at Adelaide and been a real stalwart in their defence. So he'd obviously add a lot of experience and depth to our group. And if he plays this weekend and gets through, well, that's a decision for the coaching staff to make. But I know what he will certainly bring to our group once he gets into the team.
And what about Noah Ainsworth as well? Had a pretty good game on the weekend, and if he plays this weekend leading into Collingwood, he's another one that could be up to be selected again.
Yeah, Noz has had a really interesting journey. To be honest, he came onto the scenes as a 19-year-old after his back surgery, and he came into our team and performed so well, and then just injuries has riddled him. He's had his jaw, he's had his shoulder, he's just had so many injuries, the poor bloke. But he came out on the weekend. I thought he played really solidly for his first game at AFL level for a number of years. He's a little bit of a shining light for us. So he's naturally going to get better as the weeks go on, and we know exactly what he brings. He's tough, he's hard, and he never gives up, which is a really important trait to have. So the more games he can get under the belt, the better he'll be for our team.
With Connor being injured now, on top of Kitty obviously out for the season, what sort of hole do those two absentees sort of leave in your backline in terms of creativity?
A little bit. There's no doubt about that. But one thing that Fags has really stressed to us over the last 6 years is that players need to be able to play multiple positions for this reason. And myself, Cam, Jared Berry at times has gone down there and played in the backline. So we're certainly not short of stocks in that department. Jimmy Madden's going really well as well. So we're certainly not short. But whoever gets called upon needs to be ready to play that position and their role for the team if they get given that chance.
You have been there. Would you be open to going back down there again?
Yeah.
You like playing that position?
Yeah, absolutely. I certainly haven't hidden from the fact that I do like playing in the back line. Defensively at times, probably let myself down. But I certainly enjoy seeing the game from that point of view. And being a forward for so many years of my career, you certainly understand, when you're in and when you're not. So it's, I think that's an important trait to have, being able to play dual positions. And if I go back there, I go back there. If not, that's all right. Keep applying my trade up front.
Has Fags spoken to you about that being a possibility for next week?
Not as yet. No, we probably won't touch on anything like that until later into next week, to be honest. We'll just see how everyone pulls up. Obviously Connor's probably definitely going to be missing, but if Dizzy's still a chance to play, see how the boys go in the VFL on the weekend. I think that's really important that the guys who have been, playing in that position for a number of years certainly get their opportunity to have a go at it as well. So, any selection issues certainly won't be done this week. It'll all be back into next.
I know Fags likes to set goals and have you guys break hoodoos. No team has won a grand final after a 0-2 start.
Is that right?
Can you do it?
Well, there you go. Yep, we certainly can. We certainly believe we can. There's no doubt about that. We've seen glimpses of our absolute best over the past 2 weeks, but for whatever reason, we just haven't, been able to keep that momentum going. And when teams have got a roll, we've just sort of halted that a little bit. So that's something that we've looked at. We'll look at more of that today as well. This is the first day we've been back at the club, so we'll look at the trends that are happening and we'll address them. We're a team that, under Fags' reign, we've learnt really quickly from our mistakes, and once we've identified them, we've got to work on fixing them, and I think this will be no different.
Has there been any knock to your belief or like your confidence collectively? I know we're only 2 weeks in, but is that taking a hit at all?
No, not really. No, I don't, Fish. To be honest, I think it's more us just staying engaged for the full 4 quarters. I mean, our pre-season was really strong, and I know it's only pre-season, but that's where you build belief and confidence that you can actually get the job done. So I certainly don't think it's knocked us around too much. I think, we are only 2 games into the season. We've got a great opportunity now to refresh, have a look at everything that we, have done, not only the last 2 weeks, but in the pre-season as well. What seems to have changed, have a look at everything and get ready to attack this second portion of the season.
Lockie said last week you've got to be the hunter. Does it feel like teams are coming at you? You're a grand finalist this far away from winning a flag. Do you feel like the first couple of teams have really, they've hunted you?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, you've got a whole pre-season to sort of assess who you're going to be playing, and then you come up with a plan to face them. And I know we've certainly done that in the past for teams. So I think it was no different for these 2 sides. They came prepared and executed perfectly. And I guess for us, that's where we need to catch up again and become that team that are real hunters, not being the hunted. And we've got an opportunity in a week's time, and from there we just keep rolling on from there. But as I said, I think the confidence of the group is certainly there. We just need to clean up a few areas.
You spoke about refreshing. I mean, obviously, with a few boys injured, probably good to have that physically, but also mentally as well, right after going to a start, the gear up, go again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the game is played mentally. And a lot of the lapses that we're probably seeing throughout our games is the mental side of it. So once again, this would be a great little opportunity for us to refresh on everything, strip it right back, know what works for us in the past, and get back to that.
Real surprise game tonight.
Will I watch the pot? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What do you make of how they're going?
Look, very similar situation. I mean, they're the grand finalists. We wanted to beat the grand finalists when we weren't in there, you know what I mean? So teams are coming prepared to play the better sides. They aspire to be like them. We were no different to when Richmond had that really good era, Hawthorn had that really good era. We wanted to be just like them. So teams take everything they possibly can, collaborate all that information and come out with a really good game plan to beat them, and it's been no different for Collingwood as well. They played really good glimpses of football, and I've got no doubt that they've got plenty more tricks up their sleeve, and once they get back into the grind of it all, there'll be no worries.
Do you have a take on the Olympic Stadium, no Gabba rebuild? What are your thoughts?
A little bit of popcorn at the moment, isn't it, eh? Just sit back and watch. However, look, we've obviously from a club point of view, we've grown our membership significantly in the last few years. So we're a chance to reach 60,000 members this year, which is an unbelievable achievement. So naturally 60 doesn't fit into 39. So I think it'd be a great opportunity that, that we can get a new stadium. That would be great. No doubt about it. And as a lover of sport, I mean, you want the best showcase possible for athletes and being an athlete and understanding just what they put themselves through to be the absolute best. You want them to feel, like this could be the best games ever. So, we'll just wait and see how that all unfolds. But as a sports lover, you want it to be great.